streets of Cincinnati. Welcome to the jungle! Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah, stripes, 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 orange in the day, black in the night, stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly, the beast is awake, orange, black and white, cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and stripes. Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, dripping heat. Tigers strike the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin' who they, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounds, make the city howl. Now we beasting now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move dancing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock them, yeah we got them, yeah we fought them. Like that black and orange up on them. Bingo bottle, never stop it till the beast on beast and know them. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move dancing on? Now who wanna move on? All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Truniful. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. And baseball's back. Can you believe that? Holy crap. Now, if you found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,527 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. So if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription bell, hit the bell for the notification, and every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in there, if you want to support what I'm doing, we're doing super chats in the YouTube chat crew. So give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave, and the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. So if you are a local business and you'd like to sponsor my show, you can sponsor that right there or later on down the show or wherever you want. Just DM me on Twitter if you guys are interested. Anyway, like I said, baseball is back. There's a lot of stuff going on. Baseball is back. Khalil Mack is a Charger now. Are the Bengals going to trade for Tunzel or are they going to trade for Collins? What's going on? This is unbelievable. So we got to go to the man who's been out in Arizona waiting forever for the Reds to come back, and they are back, and he is ready to go. He's none other than the Cincinnati Enquirer's Charlie Goldsmith. Charlie, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Good, man. Looks nice and warm out there.
Yeah, you know it is. It's perfect weather for a very nice day in baseball as well.
Hey, it's back. I know you are excited. You've been sitting there waiting for them to come back. So I know you're excited about it.
I am certainly. Now one of the wildest few week stretches we're ever going to see in baseball is about to happen. We have to fit in the entire offseason into the next basically 2 weeks.
Right.
And for agency, trades, arbitration, all kinds of stuff. The Reds have to finish their roster for the season, and it's all about to get rolling.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to come fast and furious. So you're going to be a very, very busy man now. I'm going to throw this out there. I hope the Reds sign Nick Castellanos. I don't know what's going to happen, but I was going to throw it out there. But anyway, so we had that today, and plus we had the conversation that the Dallas Cowboys could be trading Collins, possibly Collins, from their right tackle. And you tweeted this out, and I thought it was a great tweet. Okay, it said, according to PFF, Collins was ranked 15th among tackles last year. Now that you put that up against other tackles that the Bengals are linked to trying to sign, that's Trayvon Armstead, who's ranked 26th, Trent Brown, 33rd, Morgan Moses, 40th, on down the line, Riley Reef, 49th. We just had Mac traded for, a second and a 6th round pick. What do you think Collins could go for?
I think Collins is just in a vacuum the exact type of tackle that we'd be linking the Bengals to if he were on the free agent market. But the most interesting part is that $10 million price tag right next to his name. That's about what, maybe a hair more than Reef and Moses and Dwayne Brown and that tier of free agent Joe Noteboom are projected to make. So if you're willing to part with a pick, you can get a better tackle at the same price. And we talk about the Bengals making aggressive moves to attack Joe Burrow's rookie contract window. Well, this would seem to be the profile of move that would fit that train of thought. And certainly now he's one of the top tackles available out there for a Bengals team looking to improve their offensive line.
Exactly. And I think he would be, cheaper money-wise and also cheaper as far as trade goes instead of trying to get Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, so he's about half the contract value as Laramie Tunsil, and he would probably be less of a trade price as well. So this is just more information piling up. Plus you add in Collins' durability, his consistency. There's a lot to like his being coached by Frank Pollock previously. There's a lot of potential links here that you could see as reasons why a move to the Bengals can make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And they've been linked all offseason, since Super Bowl, that to Ryan Jensen possibility of that happening. So if you get him and you get another guard and Collins, I think your offensive line is set. Now, will that happen? I have no idea. But we're just sitting here talking. But to me, it's exciting because the Bengals actually are in the conversation for these guys, unlike past years.
Certainly, you have the fact where people want to play with Joe Burrow. People are excited about what the Bengals are building. And on top of that, too, you look, the Bengals really invest highly in the center and the tackle positions, less so at guard. And you see options now coming out of the woodwork at both of those positions the Bengals have proven they're willing to invest in. Certainly makes you think heading into free agency.
Yeah, exactly. Now, a question for you. Now, we're trying to fit baseball and football in here because I know you only got a little bit of time here because I know you're a very busy guy. So, okay, since they came to an agreement with baseball here, what are the terms of the agreement? Are we having a universal DH? They get into free agency sooner, or what's the logistics of the contract?
Yeah, I hate to bore you, so I won't. But really, it's just a bunch of numbers are changed. Right. We'll see. It'll be up to ultimately the strategies that front offices use to interpret this collective bargaining agreement to talk about the impact of the game from a transaction perspective. There's a draft lottery, there's a universal DH, and an expanded postseason, and the possibility for some rule changes down the road as well. I think those are going to be the most noticeable changes. Nothing major, nothing significant, but they did come to a deal today on those things.
So we're not getting bigger bases or a pitch clock or anything anytime soon, or
yeah. So part of this deal is they now can continue the conversation about those rules. So my understanding is there's going to be continuing conversations about those rules specifically, but this year on opening day, those rules aren't going to be in place.
All right. Now I know I said we're going to take a whole lot of questions, but I had to get this question from Crown. He always asks this. He wants to know if Hunter Green or Nick Lodolo will be on the opening day roster.
The Reds have a wide open spot for their 5th spot in the starting rotation. And certainly Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo are as talented as any player competing for that spot. Look at the Reds' track record. They threw Jonathan India into the fire on opening day last season as well. Lodolo has something in his favor, which is that he's been pitching for the last month in a spring training-like environment. Green would have to ramp up much more quickly to be ready. But Green had a full season of work last season, and he had an incredible 2021 year as well. They're certainly talented pitchers. They've certainly lived up to expectations so far. And my expectation certainly is that we'll see him at some point this year. And I wouldn't close the door at all on them making their debut on the opening day roster.
Now, question I have to get back into baseball here because they're back. So I have to get all these questions I had over the offseason that we haven't gotten answered. And the biggest one to me, other than signing Nick Castellanos, which, again, personally, I love him. I don't think they're going to sign him. But the third base situation with Gino and Moose and the shortstop, what do you think they're going to do with that?
That's going to be fully settled and decided during spring training. Shortstop is, I think, a position, or would project to be one of the more interesting position battles possibly between Kyle Farmer, someone who had a great season last year when you look and compare what he did to what Reds have gotten historically. Over the last 15 years since Barry Larkin retired from their shortstop, Kyle Farmer gave them a lot, not mostly defensively, but incredibly defensively, and then a really solid production at the plate as well. Jose Barrera, their 2021 minor league player of the year, top 40 prospect, someone who added power hitting to his game last season and really polished his approach at the plate. He looks ready for the show. What happens there at third base? You have the DH now, so do Suarez or Moustakas settle in as a full-time DH, or do they rotate between those spots? And a number of other interesting roster battles. Backup catcher, the fifth starter spot, who's the fifth outfielder going to be? There's a lot that has to be decided as the Reds finalize their roster.
And they had to, in my opinion, they had to add on to this bullpen too, which that goes to what you just said. They got to fit all this roster movement and everything in the next 2 weeks. So I'm hoping they upgrade the bullpen, because to me that was one of the biggest if not that was the biggest problem with the team last year, along with upgrading the bench. Now, question: if they don't sign Nick Castellanos, who do you think our everyday right fielder is going to be?
Yeah, so based on the guys they have right now, what I would guess at the moment would be a platoon between Naquin and Aristides Aquino. Naquin didn't get many opportunities to start against lefties last season. He's a left-handed hitter. He crushed righties. He was great against righties, and since it feels like 70, 60, definitely more than half the pitchers you face are righties, Naquin's going to be playing a lot more often than anyone else. Now, you need a spot on your bench for a right-handed hitting outfielder. The candidates really are Aquino, Trey Ambergy. He was a minor league non-roster invite. Alejo Lopez has played a little outfield. He's a switch hitter. But Aquino, while he didn't make a flash certainly last season, he was the one they trusted in that role the most among the players they had on the roster. Who knows? Maybe they go out and add a player in some capacity at that spot between now and the end of the season. But that right-handed hitting outfielder certainly is a role up for grabs.
Yeah, now Aquino has never reached the potential he had when he first came up, 3 years ago now? He had that unbelievable month. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see that again from him. That would be, that would be amazing if that would happen again, but it doesn't look that way. So, Moustakas, Gio, probably one of those two would probably be our DH. What about, I can't think of his name. The center fielder we got from Japan.
Shogo Akiyama.
Thank you, Akiyama. Where is he going to be able to get to play this year? Is he a backup, or where do you think he is?
Yeah, so that's a question as well. I'm very interested to see how much he's improved his game over the offseason. But all in all, you just look at how they used him last season, the fact that they were starting Jose Barrera and Delino DeShields in center field over Shogo, and Max Schrock in left field over Shogo.
Right.
That's the latest data and the latest information we have. That was where he was on the pecking order last season. So, I haven't seen him yet, obviously, in spring training. Maybe he's come out and really refined his approach as a hitter, improved as a hitter, and is ready for a resurgent season. If not, then you can look at those players who I just mentioned as holding on to those roles.
All right, one last question. I'll let you go. I've said it a couple of times on here. What do you think the chances are of Nick Castellanos coming back? Is there a shot? Do you think there is, or is he definitely gone?
Yeah, the Reds can. There's no reason the Reds couldn't re-sign Nick Castellanos except their payroll limitations, and certainly that's been the story of the offseason, the story of the last two offseasons, the Reds not adding to their roster. Castellanos would be one of the biggest free agent signings in Reds history. I think him and Moustakas were the biggest free agent signings in Reds history in 2019 and 2020. And then Castellanos has gone out and improved his stock on top of that. The Reds need someone like Nick Castellanos. They haven't made that type of move over the last two offseasons, which certainly impacts your thinking here. And I expect he's going to have a very big market.
Exactly. I mean, I would love to sign him. Like I said, me personally, he's my favorite player. I don't think they're going to sign him, though, because, like you said, they haven't done anything in the last two offseasons. But, Charlie, I know you're a very busy man, and I know you got probably bigger fish than me that want to get you on the radio or interview or something. So I appreciate you giving me the time. And I got to say, you better buckle up, man, because it's going to be a neck break pace here the next 2 weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Take it easy. See ya. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I can only get Charlie on for about 15 minutes. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on for him. So that's the latest update as far as baseball. And we have baseball is back. So I'll be honest, I'm surprised. I didn't think we were going to see baseball until May, to be honest. At the earliest is what I thought. So we'll see. We got baseball back. But right now, I like to get into the football conversation of what has happened, transpired the last couple of days. And we've had Denver get Russell Wilson. We've gotten Indianapolis has gotten Carson Wentz. And now it's out of the Khalil Mack has went to I almost said San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. And people are like, okay, what are the Bengals getting in on this? Well, we all been talking about Laremy Tunsil for a while now. Today, it just came out that Collins is available, the right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And just like Charlie Goldsmith tweeted out, and I retweeted it, PFF has him ranked 15th among tackles in all of the NFL. If Mack is going for a second and a sixth or whatever, I think you might be able to get Collins for maybe just 31. Maybe I don't know. Maybe throw in a. I can't see you 31 for him, and that's it. If you can't get a first round pick for Khalil Mack, then he doesn't get a first round pick, in my opinion. But if they get him and they get Ryan Jensen, with a lot of indications would you guys be happy with that? It'd be a center and a right tackle, and you have Jonah Williams at left tackle, and then you got to figure out your guards. You could draft some or not. I'm not saying I would be happy with that. I would like them to get a guard in free agency and let a couple guys battle it out for the other guard spot. But those are things that we can discuss here. Is where's everybody's heads at right now as far as what's going on? Because I had a couple people like, oh, I'm getting nervous. And Malik Wright goes, he tweeted it out. He goes, free agent is a process. I'm like, yes, it is a process. You have to breathe. Relax. We're not even into the free agency period yet, So that's where I'm at. Where are we at here? All right, let's see. Augie, first one in here. Collins, Tunsil, either or, I'd be happy with. Jensen would be great on the interior. Now, I agree with that, but I want another guard along with Jensen. I want another guard. Yeah, and we don't like I said, Collins or Tunsil. I agree with you, but Collins is cheaper. He's younger, and that's kind of where I'm kind of leaning more toward him, because I'm not against keeping Jonah Williams at left tackle. I'm not. I think Jonah Williams has done good. And Crown, you're right. We need guards. That's where I'm at. I was like, get these two big pieces, which would be huge. This would be, to me, if they could get Jensen and Collins, this would be a huge statement saying Bengals are here to play. We're not backing down. So that's where those two would be great statements, and then come in with Brown, out of the Bears, or Tomlinson out of the Chargers, I think it is. Either one of those guys, any of those guys would be great. I want to be signing two free agents and trading for one guy would be perfect. And then you got your cornerbacks. You take care of that in the draft, I think. All right, Joel. I think dream scenario is Jensen, Collins, and Tomlinson. Dude, I'm with you right there. That would be perfect. I would be so freaking excited when they sign a free agent next week. I will be on the air. I'll do an emergency podcast sometime. So make sure you subscribe to the channel when that happens. But I will be freaking out in Florida when I'll be talking to all the Buccaneer fans going, ha, we got Tunsil, we got Collins, or we got Jensen, or whoever. So it's going to be an absolute blast. We have a ton to talk about. All right, Augie. I'd be cool with Jonah at left tackle. Just think he would be better on the right side. It suits him better. Joe could see if he blows his assignment. Yeah, I'm just saying, but only reason I'm saying is because Collins is a plug-and-play right tackle. So if you get him, they're not moving Jonah. And Tunsil is a little harder to get, I think, than Collins is going to be. Just from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. How about the guard from Tennessee? Yes. I can't think of his name, Crown. But look, if they get an upgrade at guard, I'm for it. Let's see here. Bengal. Bengal fan living on the Riverland. I always mess that up every time. You want Larry Tunzel, but that's unlikely. See, I don't know. It's unlikely, but if they can get a right tackle for $10 million, that's more of the cost of the money they want to spend. That's where I could see them going that way. We'll see. All right, Tom. We'll be very surprised if we sign anyone the first day of free agency. Everyone will panic, but we always wait. Tom, I won't be surprised either way. I will be okay. I'll be not want to say shocked, but they sign because if Ryan Jensen is the guy they're going to get, that guy's getting signed the first day, I think, by whatever team. And there's been so much talk about him that if they do sign somebody on the first day, it's going to be him, I think. And I just have a feeling they're going to get him. They're going to get him. They're going to get a guard. And I think they might get Collins or they might get Tunzel. And so if they sign anybody on the first day, I think it's going to be Jensen. If they don't, which they might not, and last year they didn't, and then they started rolling in, and Bengals fans kind of freaked out. But then, we all, it's like, you have to calm down. like Malik Wright says, relax. It's a process. It'll get there. And that's what we all, and I know we're all, like me included, I am so excited, so fired. I cannot wait to just get my hands on whoever the first guy, not my hands, but going, yes, okay, this is who it is. All right, the Bengals are going to really fix this offensive line. And that'll make everybody feel so much better about where they're going. So that's why if they could, and if they do sign Ryan Jensen on the very first day, it's going to send Bengals fans through the freaking roof. Augie, I'm not going to panic until we miss on someone we want. New day, new front office philosophy. I'm not going to panic one day in. Yeah, well, there will be Bengals fans that do panic one day in. I mean, there's Bengals fans panicking right now. Like I said, seriously, I've had people tweet me out and say, "Oh, they're not," different stuff, different scenarios that I've tweeted out. They're not going to get anybody. Bengals fans' dreams get crushed again, and with all these trades going on, the Bengals going to do anything? Yeah, are they going to trade for somebody? I don't know. I hope they are. It sounds like they might. But I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to sign somebody. Foxy, what's going on? And commented in a while. Where you been at? Seeing the Texans are willing to pay some of Tunzel's contract if traded. I don't know if they're willing, but yeah, I've heard yes, I tell you about. I heard they are willing to pay some. Yes, it just depends on how much. Because he has a guaranteed portion of his contract, and the Bengals don't like guaranteed money. That's, to me, one of the biggest hangups with the Jesse Bates contract. Augie, I'm with you, brother. He says PTSD for the previous 30 years from 2020 back. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. But it's a new day, man. And like I said, I hope for the Bengals, their organization, their fan base, I really hope what will be perfect is, say, tomorrow, later on today, they come out with a trade. And they traded for Collins or they traded for Tunzel. And then the first day, they come out with Jensen. And then the second day, you get Tomlinson. Dude, we all would be partying like rock stars. Bengals Twitter would go through the freaking roof. Everybody would be talking all kinds of smack. Like, okay, because the thing is, the offensive line wasn't very good last year. Khalil Mack is now in the AFC. So the AFC defense is no joke, and the AFC is no joke at all. So we got all the best quarterbacks. Looks like we're getting almost all the best defensive guys now. So Bengals have got to get this offensive line fixed and fixed right now. Crypt Keeper. Not only is the fan base watching the Bengals free agency, the whole NFL is watching the Bengals free agency. God, I hope they don't let us down. Big splash. Bengals, come on. Like I said, this is just a feeling, and from things that they've done, it's ramping up. Yes, they jumped to Super Bowl, I think, faster than the Bengals ownership and management and the Bengals themselves actually expected. Yeah, they talked about it. Of course, they try to go to the Super Bowl every year, but it actually happened. Now they're kind of like, okay, our window is now. So that's why it's time to fix this offensive line now. And I really, really think Katie Blackburn, Troy, Mike Brown, Duke Tobin, Zach Taylor, all of them in charge of trying to figure out what in the world they're going to do this offseason, know that the time is now to win. And the only thing that's keeping them from winning is that offensive line. Now, obviously, you got to have health and you got to win more games and all that stuff. But the part they can control now is the people that they have, as Zach Taylor likes to say, in the building. And if you can add a Laramie Tunzel or a Collins or a Ryan Jensen or a Tomlinson or a Brown, somebody like that, 3 of those guys on your offensive line, game changer right there. Game changer. Foxy, appreciate you. See, you've been watching, just not commenting. No problem. I appreciate you watching. Ooh, Charles, what's going on? Thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. I hate reading Jeff Hobson's free agent articles. Jeff Hobson is, I like Jeff, but he is a little downtrodden. Sometimes he's been covering the Bengals for a while, so I think it's still hard. It's still hard for some of these guys to even consider the Bengals could do this. Just like Jay Morrison yesterday, he was talking and he convinced me that the Bengals could just go interior line, which they could. And that's still a possibility. If they go center, guard, and you bring back Riley Reif at your right tackle, or have Deontay Smith or him, or Reif fight it out for the right tackle job, I'm fine with that. That would be cool. And that's where you think that they're possibly most likely going to go. But then you keep hearing Laramie Tunsil. Now you're hearing Collins. And the Bengals are linked to these guys. And it's not just Bengal fans, putting it out there. It's actual NFL insiders and stuff that are linking the Bengals possibility to these guys. So I keep saying, when there's smoke, there's fire. And there's an awful lot of smoke when it comes to Tunsil and now Collins. So there's something there. Will it happen? I don't know. Joel, do you think Elizabeth Blackburn is the reason the Bengals are now using modern tactics with free agency and the draft? I don't know if she's the sole reason, but I do think she has a lot of pull with her grandfather, because Mike Brown did an interview with Dan Horde back during the season, and he said Elizabeth is the only one that's not scared of him. So when it's your granddaughter, heartstrings, you can tug at stuff. And, Elizabeth is the reason we got the Ring of Honor. I will tell you that. She's the reason we got that. So I think another reason is because we got Joe Burrow, and they knew how bad the offensive line was. And Mike Brown got the quarterback that his father always wanted. Joe Burrow is the quarterback. I think Paul Brown is in heaven. He's got to be jumping up and down for having Jackpot Joe Burrow as his quarterback. I'm telling you, this kid is really, really good, and they know how good he is. Like, just proof is in the pudding. He took him to the Super Bowl with not a very good offensive line. So I really do think that they are all in and going to try to fix this. Now, are they all in as much as we want them to be? I don't know. I think they are, and maybe I'm going to get, my heart crushed. They might not be, but it just seems like it. It just seems like they are all in. Anyway, let's see. Augie says, go easy on Jeff. He's seen a lot from the inside over the years. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm at on him. So anyway, all right. So is anybody excited about baseball? I'm excited they're back. I will be excited more if the Reds do stuff. If they come out tomorrow and they sign Nick Castellanos, I'll be all back in. If they come out and like I said, next 2 weeks they really improve this bullpen, I'll be all in. They have to improve the bench. There's a lot of stuff they still have to improve. And the way the offseason was going before the lockout, it didn't seem like they were going to prove anything at all. And I'm still under the impression that they're not going to really improve anything. I think we're pretty much going to have the team that we have. And That's frustrating to me because, like I've said this on my show lots of times here, 2020, they went all in and spent a lot of money and had a team that could have won the World Series. That pitching staff alone could have won the World Series. So that's where my frustration is the last 2 years in the offseason. And last year that it took them forever to add anybody. And by the time they added pitching to the bullpen, it was almost too late. Actually, I think it was too late. So that's where my frustration is. And that's where I'm excited. I'm happy baseball's back. But I don't know. I'm more excited about free agency with the Bengals. I don't know. What do you guys think? Andy, how much do you think Mike Brown is involved in the team decisions? I think he's still involved. I just don't think he is the end all, the beat all voice in the room anymore. I think Katie has a lot to do with it. She does, I think, all to 90% of the contract negotiations. I think Duke Tobin has a voice in there. I think Zach Taylor has a voice in there. So yes, if there's one thing that Mike Brown wants, by all means, and yes, he will get his way because he is still the boss. But I don't think it's like that. I really don't. I think it's more of a team effort, and they're all working together. And let's be honest, last 2 years, 3 years, it's worked out pretty good. All right, Joel, I'm so pumped up for baseball coming back. Not much the Reds this season. The Reds need a Joe Burrow jump. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And, well, Joel, they had a Joe Burrow jump when they spent money. That's what pisses me off. This city was on fire. We were having Joe Burrow come in. We drafted him. The Reds were spending money. We thought we were going to have a contending ball club, and it just went, and it just, the bottom fell out. And you could tell that by the attendance last year. Everybody's more excited about the Bengals, and they hadn't even played yet. If the Reds would spend some money and get a winning team, I think it would make a big difference. Dennis, A. Strawberry, I hear you talking about baseball, Reds. Now, does that mean the baseball strike is over? Yes, Dennis. The strike it's not a strike, it's a lockout. Yes, it is over. They will be back playing April 7th is what Charlie Goldsmith. You got to rewind the beginning of the show. You can see Charlie Goldsmith, who was on the show earlier today, and he gave all the information. So rewind the show and check it out, Dennis. You can get all the information. All right, Haas. Say, I like MLB much more than the NBA, if that's saying much. The NBA, and I've said this before, I used to love the NBA. Now, I'm getting a little bit more into the NBA because my Cavaliers are actually pretty good. And that has a lot to do with my teams are good. I'm more into the sport. Football, I'm always into. But NBA, I loved the NBA back in the 90s and the early 80s or late 80s. Jordan, Magic, I'm like an old man, but that was fun. And, I don't like all these super teams. I don't like, I don't want to play for you. And, just all this crybaby crap that goes on. I just get so sick and tired of hearing about it. But they're great athletes. They can shoot lights out. So I like college basketball. My Bearcats, they won today, which I was very happy. And they're moving on, playing Houston tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So I like college basketball the best as far as basketball goes. But since my Cavaliers are playing good, I've been watching them a lot more. Augie, get back to the Bengals talk. He says, I think Burrow has a little influence too. Yes. Yeah. Burrow, like Burrow says, they ask, but they don't really, they'll ask his opinion. They don't say, oh, Burrow says this, we're going to do it. They asked a lot on Jamar Chase. So, but yeah, you're right. I do think he has some influence. And he also says, I'm happy baseball is back, but I ride locally in baseball with my Yankees. Oh my God. The Yankees. But I support the Reds silently for all of you. Dude, I don't know. I love you, Augie. I can't stand the Yankees. I'm sorry, buddy. I can't stand the Yankees. Let's see here. Greg, it's a shame the Reds were dominant in the 70s, then was awesome to the 90s. After that, it's been an average baseball team. Yeah, and that's what killed me, dude. My son is 21 years old, and this football season, just Cincinnati sports in general, this past football season, that's the winningest team he's seen in his life as far as Cincinnati goes. the Reds, since he's been born, we had the stretch from 2010 to 2013 where they made the playoffs a couple times, but we couldn't win a playoff series. That's really all the Reds have done. And then we had 2020 where we went 21 consecutive innings without scoring. So yeah, it's been rather difficult to be a Reds fan, especially when your owner said when he owned the team he's going to bring championship baseball back, and I'm going to keep throwing that in his face until he actually does it. Andy, what do you think the Bengals are, or why do you think the Bengals are bad at drafting offensive linemen? That's a really good question. I don't know. I really don't, because in the past they've been good at it. I mean, just look at Whitworth. Look at Zeitler. Look, I mean, they didn't keep either one of them. I mean, look at the offensive line they had when Carson Palmer was here. Look at the offensive line they had when Andy Dalton was here. They have been good, but here lately they've been god awful at it. So I don't know. And that's one thing Duke Tobin said. He said that they're really going to have to look at that, look at what they're doing as far as evaluating talent to try to figure out why they've swung and missed on so many offensive linemen. Now, my opinion is I think they did good with Deontay Smith, and I think they did good with Jackson Carman. I think those two are going to be a future tackle and guard for us. So I think things are changing, but offensive linemen, you really don't know until the second, third year. So we'll find out. Let's see here. Terry, what's up? Not a fan of the idea of trading picks. Even for a right tackle, a starting right tackle, if you trade 31, just say it's 31 for Collins, and that's it. That fixes your right tackle. Sign Jensen, sign a guard. Dude, especially 31. We don't know who's going to be there. I mean, most likely there's not going to be an offensive lineman there. I mean, you might be a guard. You don't really take guards in first round. You usually take them in second round. There's most likely not going to be a defensive guy there. Jordan might be gone. Or Jordan Davis might be gone. Wyatt might be gone. These guys that I really wanted probably won't be there. And yeah, a cornerback could be there, but you can get a cornerback in the second round. If you can trade 31, if it's just 31 and get Collins, sign me up. I would do it. Haas, I'm torn between getting Jonathan India's jersey and T. Higgins 5 jersey when it releases. I get both, but I'm not balling. LOL. That's a good question. I mean, T, I love T. I might get a 5. I don't know. That's a good question. I put it this way. For the team that's going to be the most successful, and you could wear that with the most pride right now, I would go with T, because we already went to the Super Bowl. Jonathan India is a baller. Love him. But I don't know if the Reds are going to do much this year. So if you're looking at, people going, oh, it's the Bengals, all right, or Reds and whatever. That's just me. That's the way I think it. What's up? Yo, it's Joe. What's going on, man? All right, Joe. Do you think Bob will ever sell the Reds? I don't know. I mean, and it kills me because I was happy he bought the team, and I was willing to go through the rebuild. That's what ticks me off. We had the winning years. Like when we first got the team, it seemed like he really tried to get people. It just didn't work. And then he just went through the rebuild. We got Joey Votto, we got Jay Bruce, we got Brandon Phillips, we got those guys, and we were built up to 2010 through 2013. And then it's like, all right, fine, we got to go through a rebuild. Well, the rebuild, and I don't know if it exactly worked or not. You can say what you want, but then he's like, all right, screw it, I'm all back in. We're going to spend money, and he only did it once. And that's the whole puzzling thing to me. I don't know why he did that. Why did you spend money one offseason, like the most you've ever spent, and then the next 2 years you don't spend any or barely any? So I guess I don't think he's going to sell the team though, because they make money. I mean, he makes a lot of money owning the Reds. I don't care what he says. I mean, there's part of me, I just wish he'd get back to the Bobcats league who wants to win, not the one who just wants to make money. So no, I don't think he's going to sell the team. Just long answer. Terry, Jensen, Daniels, and Collins would be a bad haul for an offensive line. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. I would be too. And the thing is, the most expensive one there would probably be Jensen. Daniels and Collins are probably Daniels. I think PFF's got him. I think less than 10 million. If I'm doing it from the top of my head, I've looked at so much stuff, but I'm pretty sure Daniels is less than 10 million. Collins is at 10 million. Jensen might be at 13, between 13. The highest I've seen is 15. I don't think the Bengals will pay him 15, but that's where I'm at, and that to me could be a very likely thoughts. But will they do it? I don't know. But I do think there's a very good possibility that they could. And that's what's exciting about football right now and the Bengals. And this is, if you hear the excitement in my voice and excitement of this is why this city is so on fire about the Bengals, because obviously they went to the World Series or Super Bowl, but they were on fire about them before the season started because of Joe Burrow, because of the potential of what we have. Now the Bengals can capitalize on that and fix this offensive line. That's where we're going. Hello. Hey, Bob Castellini. Hey, somebody poke him with a stick. Wake him up. Look what the Bengals are doing. Look at the sold-out stadium. I mean, it's going to be sold. Every game next year will be sold out. Every single game. Now, will the Reds ever sell out every single game? No. I don't think so. But if you have a competitive team, a team that's competing for the World Series year after year after year, yes, you're going to have more people there. And people say, oh, well, people don't go because it's on TV. People are going to go. There's an experience at a baseball game. People are going to go to a football. Look, every Bengals game's on TV, and people are still going to that. So I don't want to hear that. People are going to go. That's not a reason. Yes, I mean, I love being able to watch every single game, but if they're winning, there's nothing like being at the ballpark. So that's where I'm like, I wish Bob would get his head out of his, and get something going with this team. But I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm excited baseball's back, but then I'm kind of tempered because, we don't even get opening day. I mean, I even have opening day here, So we're going 3 years in a row with not a normal opening day. I know, what was it, Big Red Blog Machine or whatever, tweeted out, yeah, last time the Reds started on the road was 1990 and they won the World Series, which is true. That was a better team. I mean, that was a team that when Pete Rose managed the team before, 89 and all that stuff happened, finished second in the NL West 4 years in a row. So they were a good team, and that's when you only went to the playoffs if you won your division, So yes, that was the last time the baseball was locked out. The Reds went and won the World Series. But that team was a lot better than this one is. So I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to say it's going to happen. I hope to God I'm wrong, but we'll see. Yo, it's Joe. What the Bengals should do is sign Ryan Jensen, trade the first rounder and Trey Hopkins to the Texans for Tunzel, re-sign Spain, keep Williams at his spot, and put Carmen and Deontay at guard. Oh, so you want Spain and either Deontay Smith. Oh, see, that scares me. So you got Tunzel. So you have Tunzel at left, Jonah Williams at right. You got who you got at center? Am I missing that center? Williams, Spain. You don't have a center, do you? Oh, Jensen. There it is, Jensen. Okay, so you have Jensen. Yeah, I mean, I like that, but I don't want the worst part of the Bengals offensive line last year was the interior. I don't want the same guards we had last year. I want at least one different one, along with a new center. And it'd be nice to have a new right tackle. But we don't have to have that. That's where I kind of go with what Jay Morrison said. We don't necessarily need to improve the right tackle. So we signed Riley Reef. Riley Reef was a good right tackle. We need to improve the interior of that offensive line. We need to get a guy like Jensen. We need to get a guy like Tomlin or Daniels. And that's what we need to get, So I know everybody is big on tackles, which I am too, and I hope they get Tunzel or Collins. but I want another guard and I want a center. So I can't get with you on the guards. I can't get with having the same guards we have last year. To me, then basically all you would be doing is improving your center position. I mean, yes, Collins is better at right tackle than Reef, but Reef wasn't bad. I know Reef is ranked 49th and Collins ranked 50th. It's a big upgrade. Don't get me wrong. It's a big upgrade, but that wasn't the biggest problem of the offensive line. The biggest problem of the offensive line was the interior. So like I said, I don't want to go with the same guards. It would be too close to what we did last year, I think. Anyway, let's see your crown. What do you think about signing Jordan Hicks at linebacker? If he's cheap, maybe. Well, linebacker really isn't a position of need. I know I kind of said that in the past. I mean, as far I would draft linebackers to try to get some depth there, but Jordan Hicks would be good. I mean, yeah, he's really good. But for the money and what the Bengals need, I'd probably pass on him. All right, Yo, it's Joe. I feel like we just put Deontay Smith in his, and he's going to be a monster. No, I have nothing against Deontay Smith. I'm okay with one of him, if him or Jackson is that guard, or if you get two guards and you get a center and you put Deontay Smith at right tackle, I'm okay with that too. Along as but I like to sign Riley Reef and make him fight for the job. But I'm just not willing to put the same guard tandem we had last year. That's it. Augie, you guys got an awesome ballpark, better than Yankee Stadium. I was a fan of the old one. The statues outside of the Reds Hall of Fame on Joe Nuxall Way are awesome. I'm going to plan to come back to go to the GABP for a game some weekend. Bengals are home. Let's go to a game. Yeah, hook me up, brother. Let me know. Because, I do love our stadium. And I heard the new Yankee Stadium people don't like it. They like the old one better. Crip. What do you got here? Ice, did you know Rudy Johnson is the only player to sign a long-term deal after getting franchise tagged? I got Jesse Bates' jersey for our birthday. I'm happy and sad at the same time. Well, I think Jesse Bates is going to be a second one. I really do think they're going to sign him. I really, really do. Let's see here, Yo. Good points. I agree. Yo, it's Joe. Good points. I agree. On that, we would probably be exiled from the NFL. We get the same cards. Well, people wanted to exile us from the NFL for taking Chase last year instead of drafting a tackle. I don't think you can do it 2 years in a row. Sam, Jensen is coming. I hope you're right. I think he's coming. I do. I think he's coming. But we'll see. Like I keep saying, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. What did you say? Hollis Hicks from Cincinnati and just got released. Hey, I don't know. Hicks. I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, give me some more information. You're saying now, Sean. Now you're saying Jensen and Gronk are coming. I don't know if Gronk's coming or not. Like I said, only person I heard about Gronk saying that Gronk would want to come play for Cincinnati is Gronk. I haven't even seen the Bengals say it. So who knows? We will see. All right, let's get to Terry's here. Castellanos, Gray, Maui, and who is the fourth starter? Gets a Gray, Maui. It would be Hunter. It would be Hunter Green. See, I haven't been thinking baseball. Who else did we have? Castellanos, Gray, Maui. I can't think of who it is. The fifth one's gonna be either Hunter Green or Nick Lodolo. Man, that's killing me. Who's the third? Who's the other starter? You got me stumped right now, Terry. I can't think of it. Augie, I'm not ready to give up on Carmen yet. He has a great mentor in Big Willie. It's tough. Coming as a rookie and playing the O-line, I expect big improvement. Yeah, I think he can have a very, very big jump. I mean, Jordan Hicks. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just don't. Yeah, he got released. Maybe, but he had a career year, so we can't get everybody. We can't get all the big free agents. We can't get Jordan Hicks had a career year with the Chiefs, so I don't. He's gonna get big money from somebody. I don't think it's gonna be the Bengals because I don't think the Bengals look at linebackers as a position of need. That's why in 2020 they drafted 3 of them. And yeah, so I just don't see it. That's why I don't see J.C. Jackson coming here either. I would love to, but the thing is, that's why you think of this. If you try to think of this logically, if you can, or I want to say logically, just financially, if the Bengals could trade 31 and they can get Collins, you're going to spend big money on Jensen. That's 13 to 15. And then if you can get Daniels, that's like 9, maybe 10. You do that, your offensive line's fixed. Then spend money, sign Jesse Bates, try to keep BJ Hill and Larry Ogunjobi. Go draft or go, you can get a cornerback in the second round. If you trade 31 for Collins, you can get a good cornerback in second round. I think that could be the plug and play cornerback for us. Go re-sign Eli Apple. Keep him as a backup, in case whoever you drafted doesn't work out. But there's other DBs, cheaper DBs that they can get too. So that's where everybody's throwing all these names out there. We got to keep focused on what we need. We don't need a linebacker. We don't. We need interior offense linemen, and we need one cornerback. The rest of it is depth. And then we need to re-sign our own guys. We need to sign Jesse Bates a long-term contract. We need to re-sign BJ Hill, Larry Ogunjobi. Those things we need to do. Adding all these other guys is great and all, but you have to think of what they actually can do and are willing to do. And what they really need to do is, like I said a million times, fix that offensive line. All right. Ooh, got some college basketball talk. All right. I like this, Terry. College basketball has fallen off. College basketball has fallen off, especially over the last 3 years. Lots of fundamental flaws played, especially with UC basketball. UC basketball, since Mick Cronin has left, has not been that good at all. Now, I am not down on Wes Miller. I think Wes Miller is a good coach. I think he has to get more talent, and I'll preface it this way. It's why I kept defending Zach Taylor when Jeremy was on the show with me. By the way, Jeremy's doing better. He's getting closer to being able to sit up in a chair and come back on the show for a couple of times, at least once, maybe. But me and him used to get in arguments all the time about he wanted to fire Zach Taylor. I'm like, they don't have the talent. And that's kind of where I am with Wes Miller. We don't have the talent that I think we're going to get. He's got, I think, 3 at least top 15 recruits, I think, that are coming in. I gotta get Jeremy Williams in here from the Athletics so we can talk some Bearcat basketball some. But I think Wes Miller is going to be fine. I think it's going to come back up. Disclafani. No, not Disclafani. Not last. No, not last year, Foxy. No, sorry. Squirrel. We're talking about Reds baseball. No, it wasn't Disclafani. He wasn't there last year. I cannot think of who the 4th freaking starter was. It's driving me nuts. If I think of it, I'll tweet it out so you guys can follow me. But I cannot remember who it is right now. Anyway, all right, Augie. We are okay at linebackers. We need depth off the bench. We can draft well and have drafted well at linebacker lately. Yeah, that's what I'm like. We don't need Hicks. Hicks is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but we don't need him. That's not the position we need. We need offensive linemen badly. I can't say it enough. We need offensive linemen badly. We trade for Collins. We sign Jensen. We get Daniels. We're good. We get Tomlin. We're good. We're good. We're going to be really, really good. And I will be so happy. I don't know about you guys. I'll be ecstatic if those are the guys we get. I honestly, this is what Jay Morrison asked me yesterday. I'd be happy with this. And I said, Jay Morrison has convinced me. If we get 2 guards, say Tomlin and Brown or Daniels, and you get Jensen at center, and then you bring back Riley Reef, I'm good with that too. That's a better offensive line than what we had last year. So we'll see. I can't wait. I think free agency. The NFL Network is having a special Sunday, so I'm confused. I thought free agency started Monday, but then they're having a free agency special Sunday. I thought it was to do breaking news. So I don't know. It's either Sunday or Monday. Yes, Gutierrez. Thank you, Foxy. That's who the other starter was. Jeez, I forgot about him. That's who the other starter is. Anyway, if you guys are just joining the show, yes, Gutierrez is the other starter for the Reds. He started a lot of games, more than a few last year. He started starting for the Reds before the All-Star break. So he started a lot of games for the Reds last year. Anyway, so that's the other starting pitcher. So the fifth spot is completely open for Nick Lodolo and Hunter Green. So we will see. And I don't personally. Now, if they trade Sonny Gray, which that's still a possibility, then I think both of them are in the rotation, to be honest. And I still think, I think that's one thing I will give the Reds. Our starting pitching, I think, is going to be fine, which our starting pitching was fine last year. Our bullpen sucked, So that's where we still could be in games. You have that starting pitching, it travels. And that is, even if they trade, yes, and Wade Miley, you're right, head him too, which he's gone. They gave him away, which is, anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But if you had that offensive line, offensive line, if you had that starting pitching, that travels and that'll keep you in games. But you have to have the guys coming out of the bullpen to keep the door closed, and the offensive ability, even without Nick Castellanos, we're still going to have a fairly good offensive team. So it's not going to be a horrible year, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be a playoff year, but it depends on how many teams they let in. I'm not even sure how many teams are going to let in this year. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad baseball's back. But I really can't wait till next week to get into free agency. Be awesome. All right, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And I appreciate every single one of you guys there. Houday Nation, Houday Legion, and all the other Bengals Facebook groups that let me live stream. There's so many of you guys out there, and I share my show on there all the time. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. If I can't name you by name, like I said, I mentioned Houday Nation, Houday Legion because they've been there for me the longest. And they got Bearcat Ruckus, Bearcat Country, the Ice Bar, which is where I've been putting articles out that I've written. And next week while I'm on vacation, I'll be down in Florida. My brother-in-law is going to help me start a blog. So I'll be writing some more articles. And if you guys are ever interested in writing any articles or putting anything up, it's kind of fun, tweet me out, DM me. And once I get the blog up, we can put them up there. Now I'll be pulling off the sound later on tonight and putting it on the podcast. Check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trenopole. TikTok is at Iceman90. YouTubers, you guys are unbelievable. We're at 1,527. I keep adding people. This is awesome. It's the off season. I talk a ton of football, and I keep adding people. Please tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the time the football season rolls around. So please help me out. And other than that, tomorrow's Friday. Woo! We're going to have a fun football Friday. It's going to be me and Dale for sure, my seat neighbors. I think Arrow is going to join, but Arrow might be at work, so you might just hear his wonderful voice. Make sure you guys check out their new podcast and show or YouTube channel. It's called Bengals and Brewers. They got Malik Wright coming on the show Sunday. I think they're doing it at 2:30. So make sure you check those guys out. And other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I could talk about an offensive lineman the Bengals traded for. Who knows? That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah, stripes, 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 orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and stripes. This Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who they, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounds, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes be tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move crossing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em.